Hey guys, my name is James Walsh, and you are listening to the Wrestling Epicenter here on YouTube. I want to thank you for finding us. Please do me a favor and click that subscribe button and the notifications bell. And if you get the chance on this video, click the like button. If you do, it'll turn blue. Check it out. Also, check out WrestlingEpicenter.com for all this great content available in MP3 format, our online store that'll keep us going free and clear, daily news updates, as well as all the information from the history of professional wrestling you could possibly ever want. Check out WrestlingEpicenter.com online right now. Without any delay, let's get to your interview here on the Wrestling Epicenter. Hey everybody, it's James Walsh as we continue to walk our way through the archives at WrestlingEpicenter.com. I do want to let people know I don't just upload old stuff. Even though this is January 29th, 2021, I will be uploading 2 new interviews this weekend. One is with MLW's leader of Contra Unit, Joseph Samael. And then, of course, we also have Chris Candido's brother, Johnny Candido, as well as his ghostwriter, Mr. John Cosper, for brand new interviews, as well as they just released a book on Chris Candido that is worth reading. I hope you guys all do that. But without any further delay, let's go back to the December 2007 Impact Wrestling Press Pass Podcast, before it was ever called that. This is actually just called the media call, the TNA teleconference, if you will, with Can You Dig It, Sucker? Booker T. Let's get to it.
Hey everybody, welcome to the December Spike TNA conference call. We're a little pressed for time today because, as many of you can imagine, so I'm going to make this very brief. I'm going to do a quick rundown of the pay-per-view lineup for this weekend's Turning Point. All this is available at TNAWrestling.com if you miss any of it. We're going to have a 6-man tag team war with Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Samoa Joe versus the Angle Alliance of Kurt, AJ Styles, and Tomko. A 6-man tag, is a table stipulation with Team 3D and Johnny Devine versus the Motor City Machine Guns and Black Machismo. A match of 10,000 tacks with Abyss and Rhino taking on Black Rain and Relic. TNA Women's Championship match with Gail Kim and Awesome Kong. And the Feast or Fired, which is 15 superstars competing for 2 world title shots, as well as also a stipulation that they could, in fact, be fired. Now, this card is subject to change, and obviously there are matches yet to be added. For all the breaking information, you can check in Thursday night on Impact, which will feature our guest's debut match on Impact. Our guest today needs no introduction. He's been a world champion in every promotion and federation he's ever worked in. He is certainly one of a kind, and so I'd like to go ahead and turn over the call in a question and answer format to Booker T. Those of you who have called in before know the system. If you could just ask one question at a time, and we'll run for about 20 to 25. Without further ado, please welcome Booker T.
How's it going, guys?
Operator, if you just want to go ahead and go right into Q&A.
Hey, Booker, how you doing today? Doing good, man. How's it going? So the question that's on everybody's mind, what prompted you to make the jump and come to TNA? I feel like life goes stages, I had my beginning stages back in Texas and global. It was a great time, my life, and then moving on to WCW, I ran there for, 9 years and making the switch. When the company got bought by Vince, it was one of those uncharted waters, a place that I wanted to go that I didn't want to go, but I ended up going anyway, and I spent 7 years there. And I had a great run, but I think, with the direction of things right now, the way the company is going, the way the business is there, I just didn't feel like it was appropriate, and I just didn't have to stick around and take it.
Your next question comes from the line of Jason Clay. Hey, Booker. In TNA, there's a whole bunch of people that you've worked with in the past, guys like Kevin Nash, Jeff Jarrett, Scotty Steiner that you could definitely jump in the fuse with. There's also a whole bunch of talent that you've never worked with before. Who are you most looking forward to getting in the ring with?
I've always been one of those guys who like to test my skills, test my wits, see how good I really am, and we got a lot of great young talent in TNA, like AJ Styles, guys like Cass, guys like Booker, abundance of talent, it's untapped, and I want to see exactly how good I really am, so I want to test the young guys, I've been there with the Jarretts, the Stings, Scott Hall and Kevin Nashes. I've been there around the block with those guys. It's a new chapter for Booker T, and I'm looking forward to it.
Your next question comes from the line of Rich Jones.
Hey, Booker, happy Thanksgiving, or belated Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too.
All right. I just want to know, you talked about retiring over the last few years. With this relaxed TNA schedule, will you be staying a little bit longer with more equally inside?
Me, when I was talking about retirement, it was all about, the schedule I was working, how much, I was on the road, how much I was away from my family, my business, I really couldn't, get a hold to it, that was some of the real reasons, I wanted to get out of the business, and just stop wrestling full time, but with the TNA schedule, I'm looking forward to it, to picking up a little bit, to be honest. I'm not going to slow down any right now, I'm going to roll till the wheels fall off. Right now I feel like I'm still high commodity. I'm still one of the best talents out there in my estimation. So I just want to do it as long as I can.
Your next question comes from the line of Mike. Hey, Booker, happy holidays to you. Multi-pronged quick question is, your brother Stevie, has he been involved in your school, and how have you avoided some of the pitfall that concerns us all? When couples appear on air in this, they tend to break apart, which everyone hates seeing happen.
Yeah. I tell you, my brother and I know he's not helping me with PWA. We at odds actually right now. To see the real talk. We kind of like got both these going right now, but we'll patch it up in the future, hopefully. But as far as my wife and I, she was in the business, for quite some time. She was on the road with James Brown. She was a former Miss Black America. She was in beauty patches since she was a kid. She was former Nitro Girl as well. And so we know the pitfalls of the business and what it could really do to you, how the machine could really drive you. So we really are in tune to really being a team and making this thing work. Until we're like old and gray and gonna let our grandkids see this stuff and really reminisce.
The line of Ryan.
Hey, Booker, appreciate you taking the time today.
Hey, no problem.
I was wondering if you could go back, because obviously we all remember Vince Russo's statements back at Bash at the Beach in 2000, but can you talk about your relationship with him and Jeff Jarrett then versus now, and I guess kind of how you've maintained that contact, or if you have, and where you see it going in this new direction with TNA?
It's funny, I hadn't, talked to Jeff and Vince Russo since pretty much the breakup, the WCW. But those guys have a really, really good relationship. Yeah, when he first came to WCW, he was really put up there really high, but he was still one of those guys who was just a regular guy. He treated me a regular guy, he treated me no different. He was one of the first guys who wanted to go out and do business with me and put me over in the middle of the ring, And guys like that, really in this business are a dime a dozen. So, you hear a lot of things, but that's what you're hearing from Booker T. But and as far as Vince Russo, I said it, since the beginning, he was the guy who gave me that shot. He was the guy who put me in that spotlight as far as being world champion. And I always say, if he wouldn't have, has the guts to do it, would it have ever been done? So I praise these guys very highly. And we all, I think, we have a lot of respect for each other.
Comes from the line of Mike Johnson.
Hey, Booker, how are you?
What's going on, Mike?
Very well. Wanted to ask you about your departure from WWE. It seemed like there were a number of issues the last couple of months you were there. You being moved to Raw, two, WWE not signing on with PWA to make it a developmental territory, and three, the signature pharmacy situation, which is suspended you shouldn't have been suspended. So I wanted to get your take on those three sides and how they played the company.
Well, I really think the developmental thing, that part right there is that's just a rumor. You know, I never had any problems with the company not making TWA a developmental. That's false. But I think the straw for me that broke the camel's back was when the signature pharmacy thing came out. I know I had nothing to do with signature pharmacy. I knew I hadn't ordered anything online. I knew I wasn't a part of that. And I relayed that to the company, and I wasn't protected. They didn't step up for me, so I knew it was time for me to leave that company.
The line of Jim.
Yeah, Booker, I was curious too to follow up a little bit on that. How did it work out? Because, tell me if I'm wrong, most of the wrestlers, if not all, have some no-compete clauses when they sign with WWE. Is this something you had? And how long of a time span was it? Was it from August when you last wrestled, or was it later on that you were able to do that if you had the no-compete clause to go somewhere else?
Well, I never had a no-compete clause. They let me out of my contract, total and free and clear. I didn't have to, do anything further. I didn't have to do any more wrestling programs or anything like that. Maybe it was due to the situation and everything that's going on right now. It would require me and people.
Thank you.
Again, to ask your question, please press star number 1 on your telephone keypad. Do you have a follow-up from Jason Cliff?
Hey, Booker. Second question. Any plans for potentially the PWA to be a developmental territory or a training place for TNA talent?
Definitely, that's my goal. To make TNA a better place to be in every aspect. I'm there not just for to come there and pick up a check. I'm there to create and make TNA the one of the best wrestling companies there are to be in and to be in. So right now, I'm looking forward to getting a lot of those guys down to PWA, and getting them down to the training facility, and give some real work there, working on psychology, working on a whole lot of things. So it's gonna be a great time to come here in the near future.
Booker, I want to cut to the chase real quick for you. With every TNA's new acquisition, they make claims that there's going to be a big difference in the ratings of the company. And the ratings kind of tell a different story with each acquisition with Christian and Kurt Angle. And I have to ask you directly, Booker, what do you plan to bring to the table that's going to validate these claims?
Well, everybody knows as far as, my wrestling prowess and everything like that. Everybody know I can go out and do that. I'm a businessman. I work from a business standpoint, my work there is not only going to be in the ring working on that's the least thing we need to think about. My thing is, we got to make sure everything is right. Every aspect, as far as it going out on television, as far as making our product the best product that people can, have to look at on television on Thursday night. That's what I'm there for. So as far as the wrestling side go, I'm definitely there for the long haul, but I'm there for the inner workings side. Letting everybody know how it is to be on the same page, just like the New England Patriots right now.
Your next question comes from the line of Ian.
Hey, Booker, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Too much. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, during the build-up to Genesis, were you aware that the majority of Internet Wrestling fans knew that the mystery guy was going to be yourself?
Yes. Yeah, well, is that the question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, everybody knew it was going to be me. How many other guys were out there that has won every major title in every other organization? It was a pretty easy code to crack, that's the mystery of, knowing, but still wondering and wishing, and I think that's what the old was about, because a lot of people, was calling my, writing me on my website and, wishing I was going to come to TNA and, calling me and telling me to go to TNA, so I really think it was just something to let everybody, stay with the table for a second.
Your next question comes from the line of Dave. Booker, how you doing?
What's going on, Dave?
Not too much. wanted to ask you if you just a quick thing. Number one, do you have any idea how your name would have come up if you had nothing to do with that, the signature thing? And also, going into TNA, when you look at TNA, what changes do you think they need to make, or what ideas do you have to take them, to another level?
Okay. First question, how I would have gotten involved in that, and how my name would have come up in that. I really can't answer that question, but I believe in conspiracy theories. I don't believe, JFK was just shot by Lee Harvey Oswald, and his brain came up missing, and several years later. I believe in conspiracy theories. I believe that, perhaps I was a scapegoat, and perhaps if I wouldn't have said anything about it, I left the company, it would have looked bad on me, but not bad on them. So, in that aspect, I feel like, maybe that's what happened. I don't know. But, they better, like I say, I'm there to do my work from them, like I say, the inner working side, as far as the production side of what's going on with TNA, as far as, blocking off, and making sure everybody's on point as far as the wrestlers, as far as, we got some of the greatest talent in the world. We got some, these guys have an abundance of talent, and if it's just honed in the right way, as far as the show and how the show should be. And like I say, this is not something I can do by myself. It's to take a team of us to get this together. First and foremost, the young guys in TNA, they have to know first and foremost, I'm not there to take the spot. I'm there to make each and every one of them better as performers, and that's it.
Your next question comes from the line of Ariel L1.
Hey, Booker. I just had two quick questions. One was a follow-up to Dave's last question. Why would you think, you're one of the top stars, especially in your final months in WWE with the new King Booker gimmick. Why would you think someone would want to make you a scapegoat? And second of all, I had read an article with you a few months ago where you said, you love being a heel, you love playing the King Booker gimmick. I know you couldn't have that gimmick in TNA, but was there any thoughts of you coming in as a heel and maybe playing off of that gimmick a little bit instead of being the old Booker T?
I don't think so. As far as the second question first, the King Booker character, it was something that was great. It was something, it was a WWE thing, and it was something that was, thrust upon me, and I took it as far as I possibly could. I became king of the WWE. I became King Booker, and I took it, and the ratings went up with me as King Booker. But that wasn't something I wanted to do for the rest of my career. I was playing a role, and hopefully Hollywood got a chance to see how good I really was, and I'll be getting some calls here real soon. But that's what that was about. What was that first question?
Scapegoat for various amount of reasons. I just want to know, why would someone want to sort of get you in trouble like that, so to speak?
Gotcha. That right there, that comes from the top right there. And when with everything that's going on right now, you just can't, pick out a bunch of guys who have no name and punish them, you know what I mean? You got to have somebody in there with some credibility to give yourself some credibility. So maybe, like I say, maybe that's it. I don't know, but I know I had nothing to do with Signature Pharmacy. I know that I've never ordered anything online with my credit card ever in my life, so I know that was a falsehood.
Your next question comes from the line of James Walsh.
Hi, Booker. It's great to talk to you.
Oh, I appreciate it, man.
I got to tell you, you're my 6-year-old's favorite wrestler, and I have to hear about you all the time from him, man. It's great to talk to you.
That's a good thing, man.
All right, man. So I got to ask you, what's the difference for you as a performer going from wrestling in Madison Square Garden to wrestling in the Impact Zone in front of maybe a more intimate audience, but certainly a more informed, more energetic audience?
It's great for me, at this stage of my career, I've done it all. I've gone all over. I've seen it all. And, I've had a great career, and, right now, I'm doing my documentary, the beginning of the end of the beginning. You know what I mean? This is a new start for me. I'm doing wrestling where I started out at, down in Orlando, in the studio, and it's a great feeling. I feel like I'm back into the stage again, and those were my best days in professional wrestling, you know, and for the Impact Zone, you know, that crowd, it seemed like they followed me, you know, for the last, 10 years, and that new crowd, you know, that's what's really cool about it, you know. So it's a lot of difference, but in a sense, it's really no difference, you know. I'm just performing for my fans.
Any different than the Sportatorium?
Your next question comes from the line of Rich Down.
All right, Booker. I'm just curious to ask you a two-parter real quick. Is it easy to run your own Fed, or were you really surprised at what it was like to run your own Fed? And two, will we ever see a Booker T autobiography?
I'm sorry, repeat that question again.
Okay, the first one was, is running your own Fed biting up more than you thought? You know, I mean, is it a bigger deal than you thought than just, starting your own Fed? And also, will we ever see your autobiography?
Oh, yeah, second part. First, yeah, definitely you're going to see the autobiography. You're going to get a chance to see the whole deal as far as Booker T go. And as far as running my own thing, I wouldn't necessarily say it's harder than what I thought or anything like that. Actually, it's exactly what I thought. My thing is anything that's worth anything is going to take a lot of work. You got to be on top of your P's and Q's. I've had my wrestling school now. I'm going on 4 years. I'm going to be doing our 13th show tomorrow night. And then in Christmas, it's going to be our first year anniversary. And it took us 2 years to get to our first show. And I did that by design to make sure, first impression was the last impression. And I feel the same way, about, my direction, here at TNA. Every impression that we make, it's got to be huge.
Your next question comes from Ryan Ryder.
Hi, Book again. Two quick questions for you. First of all, how's the locker room responded to you so far? And TNA's already got the Outsiders. They got the Steiner brothers. Could we possibly see a reunion of another great tag team with you and a guy who was mentioned a little earlier, your brother Stevie Ray? I'm talking about Harlem Heat, brother.
My thing is, you never say never. That's my thing with Harlem Heat. I'm never going to give up on that, because it's my passion. It's where I started. That was the beginning for me. And I got a tattooed on my right arm, Harlem Heat blowing it up in flames, so that's something, I always wish for. But locker room and TNA, they have accepted me very well. Most of those guys, they know me from what they've heard about me. A lot of those guys really admire me and they look up to me, and I really want to keep it that way. I want to always let those guys see me in a certain light and let them know that that I'm there for them. I'm there to make those guys as best as I possibly could. Let those guys know that I know that it's not about me. This whole thing is like it's like Temptations. It's not about one person in the group. It's about the whole band. And I just need these guys to know and understand that.
Hey, operator.
Yes, sir.
We've got time for 2 more questions.
Okay, the next question is from Brian Stoll.
All right, appreciate the follow-up here. You put a statement out a few weeks ago, Book, saying that pretty much whether this was conspiracy or high profile, the whole Signature Pharmacy thing was upsetting. You mentioned the fact that you thought some of the reporting was slanderous and was going to be addressed by your legal team. Curious if you could have an update on that, where that stands, and talk about the difficulty of finding yourself in this sort of circumstance. How do you fight it? Because one of the other things in your statement is you said that you weren't taking any illegal substances or anything outside of your physician's care. People point at that as one of the loopholes in the testing program. How do you try and combat this sort of accusation?
Well, I combat it as being 42 years old and have been in this business for 18 years and have never had a bad one bad thing ever said about me in this business. And as you can say that about every wrestler of my era. Man, hoorah to you, but that's why I say that, and I just feel like I've always been straight up, I've always been, pretty much righteous. And it's like I say, as far as the loophole goes, the first person I wanted to talk to when the testing first came out was Dr. Black, and talk to him about, certain things, but I never got a chance to talk to him because he never returned my call. But that's another story.
And your final question comes from the line of Jim Barcelone.
Yes, Booker. I wanted to ask you, too, about working behind the scenes. Was this something that you wanted to do with WWE in some capacity? and something they were not granting you, or was that something that wasn't there? And is this something you may look into doing in TNA?
Well, actually, as far as I'm working behind the scenes, right there, my last 2 months in WWE, I was in all the production meetings, at the pay-per-views and on Monday night. I had actually moved up to that position, and once I got to that position, I realized I didn't want to be in that position at that time and with that company, because I saw a lot of things that I wish I hadn't saw. But then again, I wish I did see, because they opened my eyes. And as far as working behind the scenes with TNA, definitely, I watch the program, and I see a lot of things that could be helped. And I want to be the first one to step in that position and say, hey guys, we need to do this. But, like I say, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. At the same time, I need their support on doing this stuff, because, like I said, it's not about me, it's about TNA.
Operator.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go ahead and close conference.
Okay. Thank you. This concludes today's Spike TV TNA Wrestling December conference call. You may now disconnect.
Okay, operator, we are back in the sub-conference. Operator. Yellow.
Yeah, operator.
I don't know if he's there. Hey, Book, you there?
I'm here.
All right, sir. I appreciate it. You did a great job. Looking forward to meeting you this Sunday. I'll be down there in Orlando. And again, I know you're really busy, so I'm glad you took the time out, and that went really well.
I think we're well also. Like I say, the questions, I've been expecting those questions.
Sure.
And, a lot of them, they got to be answered, just for my sake, man. I just got to let everybody know what really went down, because a lot of people, there's a lot of speculation, and I don't want it to be no speculation.
Sure, absolutely. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, Bud.
Thank you.
Hey guys, my name is James Walsh, and you are listening to the Wrestling Epicenter here on YouTube. I want to thank you for finding us. Please do me a favor and click that subscribe button and the notifications bell. If you get the chance on this video, click the like button. If you do, it'll turn blue. Check it out. Also, check out WrestlingEpicenter.com for all this great content available in MP3 format, our online store that'll keep us going free and clear, daily news updates, as well as all the information from the history of professional wrestling you could possibly ever want. Check out WrestlingEpicenter.com online right now. Without any delay, let's get to your interview here on the Wrestling Epicenter.